to expand a little bit about when I met Laszlo Gatti for the very first time back in 1980, in January sometime 1980. I'm not sure the date, it was so long ago. But that's probably the first conductor I met was Laszlo Gatti. The very first of the symphonic conductors I met was Laszlo Gatti back in January 1980, and I believe I can remember he did the piece called the Nutcracker Suite. Nutcracker Suite by Tchaikovsky. My favorite of the Nutcrackers. Pardon me, sinuses. And it was my favorite piece of the Nutcracker Suite by Tchaikovsky is the Tchaikovsky March. Valse 2, Tchaikovsky March 2, and then the Swan Lake Waltz 1 of the Swan Lake. Those are the pieces I like by Tchaikovsky. I like many other kinds there is no piece by Tchaikovsky that I don't like. I like all classical music by every composer there is. And so, anyways, getting back to Laszlo Gatti was the very first conductor who I've ever met at the Windsor Symphony. You see, at that time it was about 19. I remember it was 1980. 1980, and it was in January. Actually it was a school field trip. And I really like that they got to be one of Laszlo Gatti's guest conductors. I got to use one of his batons. I got to use one of his batons for conducting. And so he chose me as one of his guest conductors. I remember that Laszlo Gatti. And then I would say about 30 or 40 years later, I don't know how much, I don't really know, but I know that the next conductor I met there at the Windsor Symphony, this time was the Capitol Theater. And it was 2018 or 19 when I met another conductor there, Robert Franz. And at that time, the Windsor Symphony was not at the Clare Auditorium anymore, but the Capitol Theater on University Street. And I got to meet Robert Franz. So I'd like to expand on that. I had the privilege of meeting Robert Franz and Laszlo Gatti. But there is one other conductor I haven't met yet, but I would like to meet him. He's kind of a younger conductor Daniel Wiley. That Daniel Wiley, who is said to be the assistant or associate conductor. Daniel Wiley. Wiley, he sounds like he would be Irish with a name like Wiley. He sounds like he would be Irish. But anyways, I have yet to meet Daniel Wiley. I would like to meet Daniel Wiley. Y'all willing? I mean, if y'all, the Most High is willing, if the Most High is willing, I would like to meet him. I would like to, and I'm glad I've already met Robert Franz. And when they reopen, I'm hoping they're gonna reopen soon, the Windsor Symphony Orchestra. I'm hoping they're gonna reopen soon. Right now things are on lockdown because of the COVID-19, so things are on lockdown. But as soon as they open up, I'm in gloves coming out because I'll be right back there. Hoping to meet Robert Franz again, and hoping and praying to the Most High that they will get the opportunity to meet Daniel Wiley of the Windsor Symphony Orchestra. I'm really hoping that I'm able to meet them. But what has to happen is what they have to reopen, and they're not able to reopen yet because of the COVID shutdown, which I'm hoping, and you know that I'm really watching the news and listening to our local news. We'd all like to get back to our favorite things. We would all love just to get back to our favorite things. I like all types of art and creativity, like I said many times before. So now that I'm not able to be at the Windsor Symphony, so now I'm studying a lot of things. I'm studying a lot of YouTube tutorials on cooking, learning how to bake cakes, learning how to even make artificial flowers from old plastic shopping bags, how they make artificial flowers and different kinds of arts and crafts. What I'd like to be able to say about that is plastic art. I'm learning all kinds of things that making with shopping bags. I'm learning how to make artificial flowers. Beautiful, lovely flowers. But I'm learning not only that, but I'm learning how to make homemade hummingbird feeders from old plastic Coke bottles. So see, a lot of the stuff, there's a problem with plastics in our landfills. But I guess this is how we can make creativity and art using a lot of these plastics. My idea is these plastics don't necessarily have to end up in landfills. You can take an old plastic Coke bottle and turn it into a hummingbird feeder. I'm learning how to take plastic shopping bags and making them into artificial flowers, beautiful, lovely art. And I was always like that. I always like to take a lot of the things that people might throw in the garbage. I can see the potential, how it can be made into art. You take a plastic straw, a long, thin, slender, white plastic drinking straw. My thought is, it doesn't necessarily have to end up in the landfill. I can take a long, slender, thin white plastic straw and turn it into a conductor's baton just by putting a simple piece of cork at the end. And it's a lovely conductor's baton that can be used to conduct an orchestra. So this is what I mean. A lot of the plastics that we throw away don't necessarily have to end up in the landfill. It can be turned into arts and crafts. So it doesn't necessarily have to end up in any kind of landfill. It doesn't necessarily have to end up there. So a lot of the things with my imagination, I can just pull something even out of the garbage, clean that up, and I see the potential, how it can be converted into art. I see the potential, how something thrown away can be cleaned up, fixed up, and turned into something else. Learned how to make my own art. I remember when I saw old lamps that people threw out, all you had to do was put in a brand new cord, a brand new socket, and bingo, you had the lamp. I remember taking an old bowling pin, believe it or not, and just working it a certain way, and I can make a table lamp out of an old bowling pin. Talk about arts and crafts. So a lot of the things, I'm saying, look, a lot of these things that we throw in the garbage, especially like plastics, plastic bottles, plastic straws, plastic bags, don't necessarily have to end. I remember when I used to get these blue shopping bags at the bakery. There was a bakery where you could get these blue plastic shopping bags, and they were a nice blue. I saw the potential how I could take that plastic bag and just turn it into an artificial carnation. Carnation, the flowers, carnations, and I'm learning this. As I say, I love all forms of art. Music, every kind of art you can think of. And that's what I'd like to entitle this one, Expanding on Remembering Laszlo Gatti.